as well as how you might be able to start a business. So this is for anybody that, whether you're running a business, whether you want to run a business, this is going to be an incredible 4 weeks for all of you. Number one, please make sure that you join the members community in Circle. I know some people are having a bit of a tricky time getting into Circle. Please just email us. Let us know that the team are behind the scenes making sure that everyone can get in and everyone can get access. So if you've sent us an email, please know that we will be getting to those emails and getting you into the Circle community as soon as we can. But if you are in there, make sure that you check out announcements, the course calendar, session replays is going to have everything that you need there. A little bit about me for those that don't know me. I am a wife to my beautiful husband, Lane, and a mother to my gorgeous little boy, Jackson. They are the two absolute loves of my lives. I am also a certified quantum human design specialist and transformational coach. I have done speaking events. I've been doing workshops for probably about 3 years now, educating not only people in human design specifically, but also educating leaders and business owners in how to actually utilize this for their businesses, their teams. My mission is truly to revolutionize the way individuals live and work with a really authentic approach. And I'm going to share a little bit more with you all about my story and how human design really shifted the way that I work and live now, the way that I parent, everything that I do. Human design has had a huge impact on my life. I started my entrepreneurial journey in 2017. I was experiencing major burnout. Jackson, my little boy, was only 1.5, almost 2 years old at the time. I was struggling with my health. I was working part-time, and I just realized that something had to give. What I was doing was no longer working, and I needed to do something different. So with the support of my husband, I decided to quit my corporate career, which was always executive assistant, office management style roles. I decided that corporate just wasn't working for me. They promised, obviously, that it would be flexible working environment. It wasn't as what I needed. So I decided I've got to start something on my own. I always worked with finance or marketing teams. So I basically took my skills that I'd already known from the marketing side of things, and I started a digital marketing business. So I started doing Facebook and Instagram ads for clients. I started doing social media management. That's kind of when all of that was still a really big thing. And so that's where I began. I was working from my lounge room table with a really old, not so great laptop, baby that didn't sleep, but at least I could sit and work in my pajamas with 100 coffees, get through my work whilst I had my little one at home with me, and we were just, getting through it and working through the motions of it all. And so through my experience, my own experience of overcoming self-doubt, limiting beliefs, shadow work, let me just tell you, I did not realize what a personal development journey business was. Who here runs a business that realized, no one told me this. No one said that I was going to go through the biggest personal development journey of my life, because all of a sudden I had to come face to face with the things that I was really afraid of, what people thought of me, what if I failed, all the things, right? So we could all really resonate with that. And so I had built a really great business, a successful business from a profit perspective. I was somewhat enjoying what I was doing, but again, I did find myself having created a business kind of like what my corporate career was, where it was like, I was good at what I was doing, but there was still this little piece of me that was like, is this it? Like, there's got to be something else. Like, I just wanted a little bit more impact, a little bit more passion for what I was doing. So I was naturally good at what I did, but it wasn't until 2020 when I discovered human design. Just happened to speak to a friend who was running another business. She invited me into a group chat thing. Somebody mentioned human design. I was like, what on earth is that? Went down a rabbit hole, and I was like, this is life-changing. I booked a reading with somebody, changed my whole life. So I will share a little bit more of my journey with that moving forward with you all. But that's really where my love for human design started, and how I literally took what I learned about my human design, especially the foundational pieces, and transformed my life and my business ever since. And I have been obsessed with it ever since. I am also the founder of the Inner Institute, and I've partnered with the world-renowned life coach Calvin Coyles and his company Wild Global. So some of you might know of Calvin, some of you might not. I'll give you a little introduction. I did introduce him in the welcome call I did last week. He's also done a new post in Circle. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out, because you guys are all going to be meeting him for his incredible business workshop with all of you as well. So through this program alone, we've already helped over 16,000 students that have come through this exact training you're all about to go through, which is just mind-blowing, by the way, that that's happened in the last 12 months. Because when I started, when I really was like, I'm all in on this, like, I don't know how this is going to work out for me, I don't know how I'm going to have the impact I'm going to have, I actually wrote in my journal in January 2024 that my goal was, and to me at the time, this was a delusional goal, by the way, it was that I was going to impact 1,000 people's lives with human design. At the time, I was like, maybe that's just going to be in-person workshops, right? Because I was doing them at the time. But I didn't know how this was going to play out. And I can tell you now that in 12 months, the last 12 months, I've literally 16 times that goal just with this program alone. So I share this with all of you because what you'll learn about me is I'm all about delusional goals, okay? I want you to dream big. I want you to think of the biggest thing that you want to achieve, even if your brain's like, well, I'd like to see, like, how are we going to do that? I honestly want to share this with all of you because a mentor once said to me, aim for the moon and worst case, you land on the stars, right? So aim really, really high, because even if you don't quite get to exactly where you were like, this is where I'm going, worst case, you land on the stars. And how often have we experienced this? Things don't go exactly the way we wanted it to, but they actually turn out to be even better when we just let go of it has to look a certain way, right? So that is what I want to share with all of you just to start off with this, is have those delusional goals, dream really big. Logic will come in the details, but when it comes to the vision and the goal and the dream that you have for yourself, it's there for a reason. Important housekeeping. Please make sure that you ask for help in the admin section of Circle. If you need support, please be patient with us. There is an incredible over 4,800 of you that have registered for this program. So we're going to have a whole bunch of you watching the lives, catching the replays. So there will be a lot of support that we will be helping you all with. So just be patient with those responses. Replays. Everybody will get access to replays. You get lifetime access to these replays, okay? And you will get the slides. And these will be uploaded within 24 hours after the live call. So please just be aware of that. But you will absolutely have access to the replays because we understand life happens. You can't always catch the lives. And some people just really love to go through the replays as well. Please check frequently asked questions in the announcement section before asking for anything, just to make sure that maybe your question has already been answered in there. How to get the most out of this program: self-responsibility, self-leadership, self-awareness, right? When we can all take self-responsibility for our time, for our energy, for how we show up here, right? That's a really, really important piece. I know it's easy when you're doing something that is a free program, that sometimes, that old saying, like, you got to have skin in the game. I believe and I know that each and every one of you are in this program right now because you really feel drawn to this work. So I know that you're going to commit to this, right? But sometimes that is challenging because life will life. So what we just need to make sure is that we also do the self-leadership piece of like, where am I going to make sure that I commit to the things that I said I was going to commit to? This is a really transformational experience over the next 4 weeks. If you commit and you show up and you do the work, it will be incredible for you. And obviously self-awareness, to know where are you at, what's playing out for you, what's happening for you, what do you need to do to get the most out of this program. Please complete all 8 sessions, live or recorded. Obviously live has got a great energy about it and it's so nice to see you all live. But again, we understand sometimes you can't, and just make sure that you catch up with the recording or the replay. If you don't understand something, please ask, okay? It's the only way that we can help and support you is if we know what it is that you need. Interact and engage with the members of the community. I've already seen incredible introductions. People are supporting each other. It's a really beautiful community. I know so many of us often are looking for like-minded community. You're going to find your tribe here. So engage, communicate, and you're going to find a really good group of people here. Share the journey. Share the journey with friends, family, the people that you think could really benefit from this work. Go ahead and share that. Again, when I get to have impact with all of you by sharing this information with you, you then get to carry that on, that impact, that has that ripple effect with everybody else in your life. Complete the certification assessment at the end of this program. So there will be an assessment. The link will be provided on the evening of graduation, and you will need to score 80% or above in order to pass. Come with an open heart, ready for growth, self-leadership, and alignment. You will also have 1 week after our graduation call to complete all of the graduation steps. So just know we will give you a buffer period there to make sure you've got everything completed. I will give you that date on graduation night. So please share in the chat what your goals are for this program. I'd just love to know, like, what are your intentions? What are your goals? Is it personal development for you? Is it to know your family better? Is it just all the things? Is it to understand wanting to build a business? I just love to hear what it's all for. To understand self, beautiful, learn more, all the things. I love that. Building business, personal development, self-development, love that. Self-improvement, building business. Amazing. Incredible. So I want you really to anchor into this goal for the next 4 weeks, right? Write it down, put it somewhere. It's like, this is what I'm here for. This is my intention. This is what I'm setting myself up for the next 4 weeks. Expansion. I love that. Yes. All the things. I love that so much. For those of you that are like, all the things, I'm here for all of it. I want you to actually write down the areas in your life that you want to see improvement in, right? Maybe that's relationships. Maybe it's relationships, business, personal, like all the things, right? And really have an idea of what it is that you're looking to improve in your life. Awesome. Expand by repertoire. Love that. Self, relationships, business. Fantastic. Amazing. Excellent. I want to share with you guys part of this incredible program. We have a massive prize to give away. There's actually 3 prizes overall. So I do want to run you through the biggest prize that we have for one lucky winner who is going to win this program, which is actually my advanced practitioner certification of human design. I want to share with you what that looks like. And just to be clear, we will be drawing this person on graduation night. It's a really fun way to graduate, to be able to gift this to the winner. And also, what I love about giving away this program is that everything that is included in our Advanced Prac program is going to be provided to the winner. Like, you get everything. You don't get a smaller version of it or a different version of it. You get the whole program, and I'm really excited to share with you what that is. So the winner of the Advanced Practitioner Certification will be spending 10 weeks with me, and we will be going deep into deconditioning for the energy types in week 1. Week 2 is all about understanding your gifts through human design, going deep into the profiles. Level 2, look into the centers. The centers, there's so many layers to them. So we go really deep into the centers and how that plays a really, really big and important part on shadow work, embodiment for your clients. We also go into circuitry, which is the gates and the channels. Now, I know for some of you, this is going to sound like a completely different language, but you guys will understand a lot more about this as we go along. Incarnation cross for purpose. We spend a whole week on that. Learning how to see patterns in the human design chart. What you guys will learn about my way of teaching over the next 4 weeks is that I am really, really big on learning and implementing, because how many of us, and myself included in this, are guilty of just learning information, knowledge, and actually not doing anything with it. We're not applying it. We're not embodying it, right? We're not using the information that we're learning. I personally actually stopped reading a lot of books in the last 12 months. And I told myself, if you read a book about business or personal development, and I am not actually looking at, am I implementing this into my life? Am I utilizing this? Then I'm not reading it, right? Because what's the point? Because it's just information about on top of information. So this is where I teach how to see patterns in a human design chart so that we're not just providing information to a client, but we're also actually helping them transform and answering the very question that they came to you with. So it's not just information, it's understanding how to use it. Learning how to read a human design chart for absolutely anyone that comes to you. Q&A, live examples of chart readings. There's a lot of case studies that we do, and then of course graduation. So that is the 10-week live advanced practitioner program. I also give everybody as part of the advanced practice a human design hub. This is access to additional video trainings, my human design toolkit. So I've got all of these templates that I created because when I started with human design and working with clients, I was like, I have no resources here on how to set up a really good client session, what to utilize, where to start. So I've created all of that for you to be able to use. On-demand masterclasses, and this beautiful hub just keeps growing. Every time I do a workshop, I add it to the hub. Every time I come up with a new resource, I add it to the hub. So anyone that's ever come through my Advanced Prac program continuously gets the updated new information that I share in there. So it's like this beautiful living, breathing hub that is constantly improving. And I'm talking in there as well about money, health, relationships, purpose, and business, right? So there's workshops specifically related to those topics because let's be honest, most people, those are the topics people want help and support with, right? So we've also got your first client sessions, 15 client sessions after you graduate the Advanced Prac program. And yes, the winner of this program is also going to get access to their first 15 client sessions. Now, these are pro bono client sessions, but what often happens for our graduates is that they get testimonials. They can even get paid work out of this. If somebody loves what you're doing and they want to continue working with you, you can absolutely do that. So it just helps you build that confidence and helps you start to work with people one-on-one. There's also a big behind the scenes piece. I do share a lot about the mistakes I've made in my business, what my business costs to run on my end, what I pay for, all the things. There's absolutely no gatekeeping. So I share all of that with the Advanced Prac as well. You also will get a life coaching certification with Calvin. So that's his Aspire program. It is an ICF accredited life coaching certificate through his company, Wild Success, which is an incredible bonus because if we think about human design coaching, having the human design knowledge, and then also understanding how to coach effectively and how to get those transformations for your clients is really, really important. So we've also included this in the program. And yes, the person that wins this will also get access to this. So overall, it is a huge prize. It is loaded with value. Overall, it's over $13,000 worth of value. And one of you are going to win this at the end of the 4 weeks. Who would love to win this prize, by the way? I would not mind to win that. Yeah, amazing. Well, I'm crossing my fingers for you. How to win? It's really, really simple. Engagement. We just ask for you to participate and engage in the circle community, connect with one another, cameras on and post in the chat. Just be active. Of course, if you're driving, don't have your camera on. Obviously, if there's things that you're doing that you can't have the camera on, we absolutely understand. But as you can imagine, it's so nice to see all of your faces on the screen as well. So please, if you can, have your cameras on. Attend the live calls and complete all of the exercises. Again, if you can't make them live, we get it. Catch up on the replays. Just be active in the community. I would love to see you all on social media. I love Instagram. That's where I am online. So just tag me at Lindell Stewart. I'd love to see what you're up to, what you're learning, what your takeaways are. And also you can share the love by referring a friend. So I know many of you have sent emails wanting to know if you could add a friend into the program. They can still start, even though we started the first call, you can still bring somebody into the program if you would like. What I'll do is I'll just share with you all the link now. So if you just give them that link there, they can join. I'll also pop this in the announcements section of Circle as well. Good question that I just saw there. How do we track engagement? Guys, there's so many areas that we look at for engagement. So the team looks in circle at engagement. We take into consideration social media engagement, whether you're, making sure that you're watching, like I said, either the lives or the replay. So basically just show up, engage in all areas, and basically the team does their thing on the back end and then provides me with all of the names, and we pop it into a winning wheel, and we roll on that one. Amazing. So if you do want extra chances, like I said, we are doing a member of the week highlight. So it's really based on your engagement in the program. Referring friends do give you an extra entry per friend. There is a part where it'll ask you like who referred you. They can just pop your name in there, and we will be able to see that on our end and add that to all of that for you. Now, there's a couple more prizes I would love to share with you. One of you are going to win a one-on-one business or life transformation session with me, which is really exciting as well. I love doing these. And you'll also be winning a copy of this book, which is The Human Design Science of Differentiation. I personally love this book, and the reason why I love to give it away is because this is the first book I bought when I started my journey on human design. So I am going to gift this to one of you at the end of this week. It's a really, really great book. So those are the prizes, over $14,000 of prizes that is up for grabs over this 4-week period. I can't wait to see who the winners are. But let's get into it. My end goal for all of you, because I know you've all shared your goals, is for you to understand yourself on a much deeper level so that you can start creating a life by design. And this is my favorite quote, and I want you to write this down. I want you to really sit with this. But who were you before the world told you who to be? This is really what human design helps you with, right? Is who were you before the world told you who to be? So when I say human design is a journey back home to self, it is a way that we get to look at our unique blueprint and go, okay, this is the way I've been. This is the way I have been operating. This is all the things that I just naturally do. How much of this do I want to keep? How much of this is truly serving me? And then what am I learning about myself to understand, actually, I'm already doing things that are very natural and right for me? Or, oh, okay, there's some areas here that I can start to untether from. I can start to peel back some of the layers. Okay, so the goal here is to find out and to come back to who you were before the world told you who to be. It's a really, really potent question to sit with all the time. So congratulations on the journey to becoming a certified human design coach using the leading edge in personal development. I believe this is the leading edge in personal development because human design has got this incredible holistic piece to it. I wondered for so many years, every time that I was working with a business coach or a life coach, why certain things would work and they would stick, but then other things either just wouldn't work, or it wasn't sustainable for me. I couldn't keep it going, right? And I used to always think there must be just something wrong with me. Like everybody else seems to be doing better. Everybody else is going in a certain direction. And I just keep feeling a little stuck with this information. Yet I am investing in life coaching, business coaching. I'm reading all the books. I'm doing all the things. And what I had realized once I discovered human design was like, I had been given a cookie cutter approach to how to do something, and I was trying to do it the way everybody else was doing it, but I have my own unique energetic blueprint. Okay, so this is where human design really is the leading edge in personal development, because we get to look at all of the incredible knowledge that's out there. There are amazing business coaches and life coaches out there, but you get to take that information and go, I will take that information, but I am going to do it in such a way that is sustainable for me personally, now that I understand how my energy works. Does that make sense for everyone? Right? So that's a very key difference there, right? Is when we just take somebody else's and we just go, okay, well, that's their model or that's their thing, and then we just do exactly the thing. For some of us, it works, and for others, we're like, why does this never work? Or it works initially and then it doesn't. And it's usually because we are not taking into consideration our own human design. And when we filter it through that lens, that's where everything changes. So, what is human design? Now, I know some of you are very much aware of human design, what it is. Some of you already know your charts or what your human design energy type and all that is. And some of you, you're brand new to this. I'd actually like to know, just with a show of hands, who is brand new to human design? That is like, I've never heard of this before. Awesome. I'm so excited for you. I wish I could go back to the first time I discovered human design. It was the best. It's so cool. It's so transformational. Amazing. So what human design is, it's a unique system that helps you understand your personal energy and how you're meant to interact with the world. Okay, so it really is like this beautiful user manual for your life. The impact that human design has is profound. Okay, it's profound. It has lifelong impact on someone's life if they choose it to be. All right, it's a choice at the end of the day. And so I'd love to know, those of you that are aware of human design or have been aware of it for a little while, have you felt the impact of human design on your life? Yeah, it's a game changer, right? Truly, truly. And when we start to actually implement it into our lives, it can shift so much. My biggest passion is for everybody to understand this about human design. It is not here to tell you how to be. It is to show you what is possible in the potential of your story. I don't believe we should give our power away to anything or anyone or any tool or any modality. I am obsessed with human design. I love it. It's changed my life. It's changed my clients' lives. It's changed my students' lives. However, it is because you choose to look at your human design blueprint, learn about yourself, and see your fullest potential, and you get to decide. You get to decide that you're going to move in that direction. Human design gives you the tools, it gives you the roadmap, but it is not here for you to make excuses. I don't believe in any, like when I discovered that I was a projector, one of the things that I was constantly seeing on social media is projectors can't do this, they can't do that, they can't do that. I don't believe in that. Okay, I don't believe that there is anything we can't do. Human design is not here to tell you what you can't do. It's actually just here to show you how you can do anything you want to do, but there's a sustainable way for you, and that is your blueprint. Does that make sense for everybody? Right? You can do anything you want to do. The way you go about it might just look differently because of your unique energy blueprint, right? So when I first discovered human design and I was reading all this stuff about projectors can't do this, they can't do that, they're always tired, they can only work 4 hours a day, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doomed. Like I'm never going to be able to do all the things that I want to do. And then I started realizing, hang on a minute, no, I just need to, when I really get in the zone of who I am and I start letting go of all the things that are not for me, that do not serve me, that I've just taken on in my life, and I start to decondition from all of that, I can do anything I want to do, but there's just a really beautiful, sustainable way for me to do it in my own way. And that's what I want for everybody. Human design is empowering. It is not here to tell you what you can't do. A little bit of an acknowledgement for the founder of human design, which is Ra Uru Hu. I love this quote so much, and it's exactly what I'm constantly reminding everybody of. The magic of this knowledge is not learning it, it's living it. And that's why I'm so big on even people who have come through my program. I've had the most beautiful feedback of people that have been studying human design for years that have said that they have gotten so much out of this program, because you will hear me constantly tell you guys that you've got to take this into the real world. You need to utilize this information and start to look at yourself, your own chart, where your conditioning is, and start to implement and integrate this into your life to really see it. So that's why I love this quote so much, because it's not just about learning it, it is about living it. And that's what we're going to be doing over the next 4 weeks. So what is human design? In a nutshell, okay, human design is a tool that combines ancient wisdom and modern science. So on the ancient wisdom side, we've got Eastern and Western astrology, Chinese I Ching, and the Hindu chakra system. And then on the modern science side of it, we've got epigenetics and quantum physics. So this is often why people will look at the human design model and be like, whoa, that's really complex. It's complicated. There's a lot to it. And there are a lot of layers to it. My goal is to break this down for you really simply, step by step, so that we are setting the foundations really strong, because the foundations in human design are so important. And so what we're going to be doing now is just going through a basic quantum mechanics couple of slides. I am not an expert in this field, but it is important to understand this on a foundational level. So first and foremost, we have the quantum field, right? We've got this incredible quantum field out there that is our unmanifested reality. It's what's available to us, but not yet in form, okay? Not yet tangible. And there is a beautiful book, I don't know if anyone's read it, called Big Magic. Has anyone read that book, Big Magic? Yeah, I love that book because it talks about ideas, right? Like what is in an idea, and that ideas are in this quantum field, right? And we're drawing from something. And then it's up to us whether we take that idea and bring it into reality. So that's always, I love the way that book described that, because that's really what it is. It's where we're drawing our thoughts and our connection from, is that beautiful quantum field. We then have our mental and our emotional bodies. It's where we carry our conditioning, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, what you've been taught, what you naturally repeat, okay? When we're on autopilot, we just do the things, we say the things that we say. I want to preface this by saying conditioning is not a bad thing, okay? Conditioning just is. It is something that happens to all of us, whether you were, raised by the most incredible humans on earth. I absolutely adore my parents. I'm very close to my family. I still have conditioning, okay? We all do. We have conditioning from family, friends, society, school, you name it, okay? And so the reality is that conditioning is a part of us. And when we start to learn about our human design, we can start to look at, okay, this is conditioning. I have just automatically taken this on board. And now I'm starting to think about, do I actually agree with this? Do I actually believe this, right? Who's had that experience as you're getting older? Especially so, you kind of go, why do I believe that? Oh, okay, that's just because that's always what my parents said, or that's always what my family said, or that's what my friends group always say. And we just automatically adopt these ways of being, thinking, feeling, until we start doing this personal development work and realize, okay, maybe some of my thoughts, my beliefs, my feelings aren't actually truly what I think, because we haven't really brought it into our conscious awareness to be like, why do I believe and think and say the things? It's like when we hear people say certain phrases, right, that you've taken from like your grandmother. And then when you think about it, you're like, what does that actually mean? Right? And you kind of go, I don't actually agree with that. And that's okay. And that's just how we start to become really, really aware of who we are and the conditioning layers that we've taken on. And then I always just like to look at conditioning as, it's kind of like we were born and we just started putting on all these layers of clothes, right? And some of us are just like covered in all of these layers, and we're just starting to peel them back. And some of us already naturally start to peel back some of those layers as soon as we hit sort of our 20s, because that's when we start to question things a little bit more. We're getting maybe more worldly experiences. We start talking to different people, experiencing different ways of life. And then we start to be like, okay. And we start to untether from all these, right? We then have the subtle body, which is our energetic blueprint. This is our chakra system, our auric field, meridians, and your human design. And then we have this manifested reality. This is our physical experience. It's what is visible to us, touchable, which is the result of our inner architecture. Okay, so our reality is the result of what is going on inside, what we're thinking, what we're believing. Okay, it's all of that is happening in our manifested reality. And that is why, for those of you that have done a certain level of personal development, that when you start becoming really aware of the things that you just automatically do, and you go, I don't want to do this anymore. I actually don't want that anymore. I don't want this in my life. I don't want that in my life. I don't believe this anymore. Your literal manifested reality will start to shift, right? Because of the people you hang around with, you decide to hang around with instead, the decisions you start to make, the person you start to become. It's going to have that real life experience. So when we look at the quantum field of possibilities, your filter that we filter everything through is your human design body graph, okay? It's your unique filter. It's the story of who you are. The story piece, though, is going to have some conditioning. And that is why it's so important to start looking at where do we need to let go of some things so we can get back to our truth of who we are. Now, it's important to know some human design charts are going to look a little differently. These colors are going to look a little differently. Don't worry about it. It's all charts have got these centers, and I'll go through a little bit of that shortly with you. So this is my energetic blueprint. This is my human design. I am an emotional projector. So the body graph in a nutshell shows you your energy type. This is how you're designed to interact with the world. Okay, there are 5 energy types. Your strategy is the best way for you to make decisions and to navigate life. Your authority is your inner guidance system for making choices. Your profile is your life's theme and how it relates to others. And your centers, which are these little shapes here, right? We've got 9 of those, are where we have consistent or inconsistent access to energies depending on what is in that center. So you're going to learn about this in the 4-week program as well, but there is the defined and the undefined. Really simple to understand the defined versus undefined. Defined is colored in. So whatever chart you're looking at, if it's a colored in shape, it is defined, meaning you've got consistent access to whatever energy lives in that center. And if it is undefined or what we call open, it's white, meaning you've got inconsistent access to the energy that lives within that center. And again, we will touch on this more. If you have not yet downloaded your 18-page blueprint, please check the announcements section where it says My Gift to You. There is a link for you to download your 18-page document. So your authenticity starts with 3 key areas in human design: type, strategy, and authority. Okay, that is the 3 key areas that we will be looking at in the coming sessions, which is the type, strategy, and authority. And it's all about bringing ourselves back to authenticity, back to ourselves. The 5 energy types are our manifesting generators. Who here knows if you're a manifesting generator? Hands up. Where are Manny Gens? There you are. Awesome. Fantastic. All of our manifesting generators. Where are our generators? That is our second lot. There we go. All of our generators. Amazing. Hello. Projectors. I am a projector, as I've already shared. Love to see where our projectors are. Amazing. Where are our manifestors? Amazing. There you are. See your beautiful hands up. Beautiful. And lastly, our reflectors. Are there any reflectors here with us today? Let's see. Yeah, I think there are just a few. Awesome. So these are the 5 energy types: manifesting generator, generator, projector, manifestor, reflector. These are the percentages of energy types overall, right? Manifesting generator and generators make up 70, some books will say 71%. Okay, so give or take a percent. That is our energy types, manifesting generators and generators. You guys make up 70%. Now you'll see that very much in the chat. And when everyone put their hands up, we had a lot more people putting their hands up for the Mani-Gen and the generator, because generally 70% of you are in the room. Projectors make up 20% of energy types. Manifestors make up 9% of energy types. And our reflectors make up 1%. They are our rarest energy types. So when we refer to energy type versus non-energy type, these are what we are referring to. Please note that with traditional human design language, when it was designed, it was in an era where the world's consciousness was very, very different to where it is now. And Ra's goal was to shock people into consciousness. So some of his language, some people are like, I don't love that. I don't like that language. When I found out non-energy type, I was like, great, I'm already feeling burnt out. How about putting some salt, rubbing some salt in the wound? Excellent. Find out I'm a non-energy type. What that really just means is it's a sacral center that is undefined. And I'm going to go through that in a moment. But I want to share this with all of you because it doesn't mean as a non-energy type, you have no energy. It's just the way you use your energy, and it looks different to how our manifesting generators and generators utilize energy. So just note, when you do see some language with human design and you're like, oh, I do not like that, it's come from a time where it was really designed to wake people up. So there's some people can consider some language jarring. Other people are not really that concerned about the language, but just to know if there's something about it that you don't like, that was just part of how it was designed at the time. And so, like I said, don't get too stuck in the non-energy type piece. It doesn't mean you have no energy and you can't do anything and you're going to take a nap all day. It's different how you use your energy. So when we look at energy versus non-energy types, the real key difference here is a defined sacral versus an undefined sacral. So when I talked about the definition of the centers, defined means it is colored in, and undefined, or you'll hear me refer to it as an open center, is white, right? So not consistent access to energy, consistent access to energy. And so when we look at who that is, our defined sacral beings, you guys will have a defined sacral. Those are our manifesting generators and generators. And those of us that are undefined in the sacral will be our projectors, manifestors, and reflectors. Okay, that's really the key distinction there, is this center for the energy versus non-energy. So week 1, the foundations of living life by design. This is what I created as an identity model because human design provides a deep insight into our unique energetic blueprint, helping you to understand your innate strengths, challenges, and purpose. So when we look at the type, strategy, and authority in human design, this is really the foundations of our identity, of who we are. Okay, and when we truly come back to ourselves, that is when we can be truly authentic in our unique energy. So what sets me apart from other human design coaches before we continue on is my lived experience, just as that was what's going to set you apart, is your lived experience, right? When we do this work, we're going to be able to resonate with people. It's that old saying of you can talk the talk and walk the walk, okay? We've all come across people in the industry who are very, very good at doing the talking, but they're not actually doing the work that they're helping others do, right? So my lived experience sets me apart from other human design teachers, just as your lived experience is going to set you apart. And what that does is it is going to enable you to find the people that you are here to help and support, right? The very things that have transformed your life, the way that you've transformed your life, the things that you have discovered about yourself, and how you then use human design to become more aligned and move more into the direction of your purpose and your alignment. That's the very thing that's going to set you apart. I believe strongly, you guys are going to hear me talk about this over and over again, embodiment as well as knowledge. Knowledge is pointless, especially when it comes to this sort of work, if we're not also embodying it. And it doesn't mean it has to be perfect. I have a lot of conditioning around being a projector, and I'll share a little bit more with you guys in a moment. But I still, after having studied and done this work since 2020, I still at times have to remind myself of my chart. Sometimes I still go out of alignment. Sometimes I'm still going into old conditioning. That's being a human, right? So this is not about being perfect, but it's about being aware enough to be like, oh, okay, I'm going back into old habits. I'm going back into old ways. I have this incredible blueprint in front of me to continue to help me move forward, right? So that's the embodiment piece. Less is more when it comes to human design. Understanding the foundations are crucial for true embodiment before adding the layers. I know everyone gets super excited about the circuitry, like the channels, the gates, the lines, what's this, what's that. But I have seen far too many people get really into those more detailed areas without understanding or living the foundation. So if you are, for example, like me, a projector, and I didn't start living truly like a projector, but I was doing all the other fancy things in my chart, I was never going to completely get into the alignment piece because I'm not working on the foundations. So I am really, really big on we need to understand our identity from the type, strategy, and authority before we move into the next layers. I'm here to empower you, not disempower you. Like I said, I know there are some human design communities that'll be like, if you're this energy type, you can't do this. And if you're that energy type, you can't. I don't believe in any of that. Just telling you all now, you're all empowered. You can do everything that you want to do. You can do exactly what you want to do. You can achieve all the things you want to do. The way you're going to do that is by understanding your energetic blueprint. Do you guys all agree with me on that? Can you guys all feel like how different that is, right? To be like, you can do anything you want to do. It's just your path is going to look different. And that's where human design comes into it. And I believe that human design is not here for you to cling onto your limitations. It's actually here to set you free. Okay? It's not to cling onto limitations. It's not. And guys, the reason I'm talking about this over and over and over again is because I see this too much. That it's a really easy way to be like, oh, and I did this to myself too. Oh, I could never run the kind of business I want to run then because I'm a projector. And according to social media, we're just always tired. And burnout is just part of my story forever. So, well, guess that's that then. Right? Until I was like, no, wait, surely not. And actually started using my energy in the right way, deconditioning and realizing, no, any of us, all of us can do what we want to do, and human design is not here to show us our limitations. It's here to set us free so we can do things in a way that is energetically correct for us. Purpose. Who loves and always wants to know, what is my purpose? Am I on purpose? Am I living my purpose? Right? If you have any kind of client work, people you work with, people want to know, what is my purpose? What on earth am I doing here? Right? And your purpose, in my opinion, is to live the most highest expression of who you are. Because guess what? When you live your most highest expression of who you are, you're automatically going to find that life takes you in a direction where you're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, right? This is where I'm supposed to be. So you are the artist of your own story, and you create your life from your story. We've all got a story that we've been living with, that we've been telling ourselves, right? And so what I want you to consider is, where is life right now? And what story have you been telling yourself? And does this story or part of this story need to be rewritten? Who feels like part of their story needs to be rewritten? It's like, I'm done with this story. I actually want to move on from this story that I'm telling myself. Yeah, it's like this story playing out and you're like, I think I'm done with it. So today I want to give you permission to live life true to who you are. And through doing that, you're going to give the same permission to other people. Do you see how empowering that is when you realize the work that you're doing for yourself, even sometimes it feels really freaking hard, is you're actually going to inspire somebody else that's going to see you do that and go, oh my gosh, if they can do it, I can do it. Who's seen somebody else do that, change their story, change their life, and go, wow, that's amazing. If they can do it, I can do it, right? So we all get to be that permission slip for one another. And that's what human design provides us. So I use this question with clients, and please go ahead and use this with your clients as well. But what I want all of you to do is I want you to look at these questions. These are the foundations of living a life by design. Knowing what you don't want. When is the last time you made a list of things of like, I don't want this, I'm living this and I'm doing this and I'm being in this way, and I actually don't want half of this stuff, right? So it's knowing, what don't I want? And then what do you want? Knowing what you want. Many of us don't often give ourselves the time and the space to really sit with these questions. Because when you know what you don't want, and then you're very clear on what you do want, you can start to decondition from the things you think you should want. Most of us are shooting over ourselves every day. I stayed in a business for 7 years that wasn't overly lighting me up, and I was constantly like, there's got to be something else. But I felt like I should want this because it's a successful business. It's profitable. My identity was so wrapped up in being a digital marketer, right? I felt like everyone told me, you should open an agency. That's the next step. be an agency. And I kept thinking, I don't want to run an agency. Can't think of anything worse than running an agency. What happened? I ended up running an agency. Okay, because that's what I felt like I should want. I should want this. I should want this successful business that I'm building, and that is this agency, and I'm hiring people, and I'm bigger and better and doing all the things. And then when I started to look at all of this, when I discovered my human design, I was like, I actually don't want half of this. And here I am doing it anyway. So I took myself through this process of what don't I want? What do I want? What am I telling myself I should want? And then start to take that radical self-responsibility to choose what I actually want. What do you want? And then believe that you can do it and take action, right? So this is the key to living your life by design. And I want to share quickly with you, before we finish up for today, how human design changed my life. Now, human design changed my life in many, 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 many ways. But one of the biggest ways it changed my life was in my business, in my digital marketing business. 2020, everything went to the moon, right? Because the world shut down, all of my clients, everybody all of a sudden had to get online. So not only did I have a really good group of e-commerce clients that I was looking after, all of a sudden everybody needed to get online into the online space, and I was inundated with people like, you need to help me, I need to run ads, I need to get my business online, I need to get my website sorted. And all of a sudden, my business exploded in the best way to, like, I think at one point I had like 20 clients, which is a lot for one person. So I got an office space. I hired two staff to come into the office with me. I had a virtual assistant. I had all the things going on. On paper, so successful. I'd made it, right? I was running an agency, multiple six figures, like life was all just happening for me. And I found myself burnt out again, which was my story of my whole life. And I remember just thinking one day, what is going on? And I discovered human design. I learned that I was a projector, and I very quickly realized my parents and my entire family are energy types. I was raised by manifesting generators and generators. Even my brother's a manifesting generator. My husband's a manifesting generator. My son's a manifesting generator. I kid you not. I'm the only non-energy type amongst the whole lot of them. And I realized in that moment when I got that reading done and I was so overwhelmed by my business, I was working like a manifesting generator because that was my conditioning, because that's what I was surrounded by. So I am, as a projector, trying to keep up with everybody else in the way that they're doing things, right? Plus, I was also chasing everybody else's version of success except my own. Who can relate to that, right? Like I'm chasing somebody else's version of success, not what it actually is to me. And so what I had done in that moment, because I was so desperate for change, and I was like, I can't do this burnout thing again. I'm already working ridiculous hours. I'm not seeing, I've literally built myself a corporate business, right? I left corporate. I left the 9 to 5 so I could spend more time with my son, and I built a business that just took me further away from my family, because now I'm just working more than I've ever worked before in my entire life. And I'm not thriving. So what's the point? So when I discovered I was a projector and I had that human design reading, I personally can sometimes be a little all or nothing. And I was just like, something needs to change. So we're changing this in 24 hours. I went into the office the next day. I canceled my lease. I literally paid it out. I was like, I'll pay this out. I don't care. I need out of this office space. I fired 6 clients because I was working with people I didn't enjoy working with. I had no boundaries. I was working 24/7 because I allowed my clients to think that they could message me at any time of the day and I would just jump into action because I had issues with boundaries. And so what I did is I let 6 clients go. I let my staff go. I gave them 2 months notice and I said, the office is going, I'm scaling back. I ended up with a VA, 14 clients. I ended up with half of my week back in hours, more profit, less stress. I just had to do it differently. I just had to work differently. And so I stopped doing what I felt like I should do, which was run an agency, and actually went back to being me and a VA, working with clients that saw the value in what I did, I increased my prices so I didn't have to take on more clients. I changed everything, right? And then it had an impact on my family, on the way I connect with my husband, because now I understand myself better, I understand him better, the way I parent, right? So that was a huge change and shift for me. And it was in that moment that I knew that somehow, some way, human design had to be part of the work that I did. So all of my digital marketing clients, I said to all of them, because I did a lot of them, I did one-on-one coaching, business coaching with them as well. I was like, you need to know about human design, because the way you're currently running your business could potentially be very out of alignment with your energy. So if you are aware of this as a leader, as a business owner, this might change things for you too. And that is how I started incorporating human design into that business that I was doing at the time. So I went from being a massive people pleaser. Who can relate to being a people pleaser or past ex people pleaser? Yeah. I went from being a people pleaser to having healthy boundaries because of understanding my blueprint, understanding where I needed to have better boundaries, trying to be like everyone else, because, you know, at the end of the day, when you look at somebody and they're like, well, they're successful, I'll just do what they do. There's an element to that works until it doesn't, because it's not sustainable. So yes, there's always foundations in business that needs to be done, but the way you go about doing that can be unique to you. And just stepping into my own authenticity, which really was my own energy. How do I need to work? I am not designed, and I do not thrive by working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. It's not how my energy works. I can do a lot in 3 days a week though, like a lot, but I don't need to be on 5 days a week. And my energy doesn't sustain it like that. Living through conditioning and then healing parts of myself because of my energetic blueprint and understanding myself better. I used to believe as a projector that I was lazy, which a lot of projectors here will relate to knowing that I'm actually made just to be really efficient. Projectors are super, super efficient. We get things done quickly. We're hyper-focused. We get it done. We get in and we get out, right? So I'm not a workhorse. So therefore, I don't need to keep up with anybody else other than work with my energy. And I can get just as much done. It just looks different. Believing other people's opinions and now trusting myself. Who has been there, right? We believe other people's opinions over our own because it's like, oh, maybe you've had some past experiences where you haven't made the best decisions, right? So then you've told your story. The story you've told yourself is, I can't trust myself because I don't make good decisions. That was my story anyway. So I had to shift out of that. Living a life others said would be good, to living a life my way and thriving. Don't get me wrong, my business was great, but it wasn't sustainable for me. And often you will hear people say, why would you do that? It's such a great thing, or it's such a good job, it's such a great business, or there's such a great partner. And you're like, yeah, but there's all this stuff about it that I don't actually want. Maybe you should do it. Right? Who's felt like that? Well, if you love it so much, why don't you go and do it? It's not for me. It's not working for me, right? So it's about living a life that others think was wonderful to living a life your way, and that is thriving, right? So who's ready to rewrite their story with me, or at least a chapter of their story over the next 4 weeks? Yes. Amazing. Amazing. We're all going to rewrite our story. So your homework, please know I'm not marking you on this. Share it in the chat. It's for you. You're all adults. Enjoy this homework, but it is really worthwhile doing. Print out your human design chart. We call this imprinting. Print out the body graph, have it on your desk, refer to it, look at it. This is what we're really going to be diving into the next 4 weeks. I want you to journal on these questions. You will be amazed what comes up. And I want you to be so honest with yourself. You can share this in the group chat also, by the way, for those of you that are really open to doing that. Or you can just do this work for yourself. Use these questions with your clients as well. I'm telling you, it is a game changer how much this opens up for people. What don't you want? And again, try and do it in such a way so before your brain kicks in and be like, yeah, but blah, 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 right? Like just what don't I want? What do you want? What are you currently telling yourself you should want? You should this, you should that. What decisions need to be made in order to let go of the old ways of being, even small decisions, guys. You don't have to change your life overnight. That's sometimes not possible. We've all adults, we've got responsibilities, but it's like what things, even if you can just start listing them, that is like, I'm letting this go. I'm going to start letting this go. The old ways of being and stepping into the new highest expression of yourself. This is where we start to lay the groundwork for the deconditioning piece. Because when you look at what you don't want, what you do want, and what your current shoulds are, you start to realize when you look at those, the next layer to that could be like, where did I learn this from? Is it society? Is it friends? Is it family? Not because they're wrong, but just simply because it's like, yeah, I've just adopted all of this and it's actually not what I want. So that's really, really important. And like I said, this is a great stuff to do with clients as well, especially when starting this human design journey of the deconditioning process. Okay, so everyone, that is session 1. I hope you had a great session. Thank you for sticking it out for me with just a little bit longer than the planned time. As I said, we're going to be going through the identity, that identity triangle over the next few sessions. Can't wait to see you all in our next session this week. Check out the circle, have a look at announcements. I will be uploading the slides for you all in resources. And I can't wait to see you. Enjoy the homework, enjoy those journal prompts. They can be really, truly eye-opening and life-changing. Have a beautiful morning, evening, wherever you are. See you, everyone. Bye.
Recording stopped.